Tonight I'm here to talk to you guys about the horror film The Descent. I can't really say who it's starring. It's a bunch of no-name actresses, and basically what the movie is about is after an accident that horrifically affects our main character Sarah. They all decide to go spelunking into a cave, and in that cave they end up encountering these cave dwellers who they rely on their sense of smell and their hearing. They're blind. They've evolved and learned to adapt into the cave. And this week is starting with The Descent. I'll be doing nothing but horror movies in honor of Halloween. And I think I started off. I think I started you guys off with a good movie here because it's not just a good movie; it's a great movie. And for me personally, it is easily the scariest movie I've ever seen. It was my second time watching it tonight. Well, I didn't watch it twice tonight, but my second time within a year that I've seen it, and it is just it's terrifying. I found myself, biting my lip, my fists clenching, my legs, tightening up. It's the performances are great, and the main two characters, Sarah and Juno. One of them is likable, one of them not so much, and we understand everybody's motives, heading into the cave, and well, not everybody. So there's a slight twist. There's a slight twist in it, and not all of them get a whole lot of development. The only ones that really get any development is Sarah and Juno, and I'd say that more for Sarah than Juno. And it's the first 45-50 minutes is really just all built up, all just getting into the situation. And part of getting into the situation, and one of the brilliant things about this film is it first builds off the fear of claustrophobia. Like, I'm not a claustrophobic person myself, but I felt claustrophobic, for a good chunk of the movie. I mean, it all takes place in the cave, and just starting with the first event that really leads into everything that happens is you feel like you can't breathe. And then once the actual action, once the actual monsters of the movie come into play, it's visceral and it's exciting, it's thrilling, it's terrifying. And a part of, I guess you could say, a con for the movie is the editing style for when the monsters do come in. It's a good thing, but it's a bad thing. And here's how. It's a good thing because it really enhances the intensity of the moment. It really it, it the visceral violence, the intensity, just what's going on. It really engrosses you into it even more. But at the same time, it's a con because I have to put it as part of the things I feel I have an issue with because of the chaotic editing style. Sometimes you can't tell what's going on, and I know like one or two people who thought this was nothing but just a gore fest, just a blood fest. That's all it is, blood and gore, and it's not. It's 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 about survival and the lengths these women will go through to survive the situation. And the directing and writing by Neil Marshall is fantastic. It really is just fantastic. These are strong female characters, and you don't get that a lot in movies anymore, especially in horror movies. movies. Like, when was the last time you could think of a strong female character in a horror movie? Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street? Jamie Lee Curtis's character in Halloween? You know how limiting that is? The and the cinematography, which, I mean, once you get in the cave, it's kind of hard to see. There's definitely moments where you can see what's going on, but because of the darkness, literally, it's hard to see what's going on outside of the light coming from the flashlights. But the cinematography, between the shots and just how it looks visually, it's gorgeous. It really is probably the most beautiful looking horror movie I've ever seen. And it's just a fantastic horror movie. I mean, for me, it's the definition of what a horror movie should be. It should have strong characters, strong performances, great writing and directing, and what makes a monster terrifying in a horror movie? Something you don't understand. And when you understand, in between you don't know their motives, and when it's something as simple as just hunting and just having to survive, and just the look of these creatures is horrific, and it's it's this sometimes it's the things we do understand, and in a lot of cases the things that we don't understand that terrify us. And for me, it just comes down to the simplicity of that, of the motivations of these creatures in this movie, and the just the visceral thrills of this movie. It is really what helps makes it so terrifying. Like, there are some jump scares you see coming a mile away, but it's effective. It's effective, and and just the score. The score, it gets loud and whatnot, but it's not supposed to tell you how to make you feel. It really enhances the moment that's going on. And in all honesty, The Descent for me is like a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, it's a true horror movie. And you guys have, and it's one of the most underrated horror movies because when people talk about the great horror movies, nobody mentions The Descent, and it just came out maybe 10 years ago. Yeah, that sounds right. About 2006, might have come out like maybe 12 years ago. I don't know. It's been a long time, but they it really doesn't get the recognition it deserves. And I highly recommend for you guys to go out and see it. Find it on Blu-ray, DVD, watch it on the internet, whatever you have to do. Just make sure you watch The Descent. There's a sequel, but I will not be reviewing the movie. I don't intend to watch the movie because this movie works great on its own. And I think you guys should absolutely watch it. Please subscribe and stay tuned for the rest of the week, as I will be reviewing such movies as Nightmare on Elm Street, which ones you'll have to find out, along with Halloween and Friday the 13th, and Sinister, among others. So stay tuned, okay? Bye.